Okay, we are about to start Unit 8, but Unit 7 doesn't have anything in it, so we are going to do a quick review about linear regression. So we use linear regression when we have an X and a Y, like a table, right? You cannot see that very good. Sorry. So it's an X and a Y, it's a table. So we use this when we have an XY table or a scatter plot. And then what we do with that, we use the calculator to find the line of best fit. I'll put to find the linear regression equation. So let's review those steps and we'll put it into the calculator. Or not actually put it in the calculator, but so if I have data, let's walk through the steps of how to do the linear regression equation. What do we do first? What do we click? Stat. All right, so let's write that down. Number 1, stat. What's number 2? What do we do next? Yeah, we're going to do this, edit, right? Then what do I need to do? Okay. Put X values in L1 and Y values in L2. So I have some data in here already. So after that, what do I need to do?
Stat.
Go back to stat. And what do we want to click? Do what?
Go to calc.
Calc.
And click the 4th option.
Number 4. Line regression AX plus B. And then press enter to calculate. And it'll give you your Y equals AX plus B. And what's the other value that we like to look at?
R.
R, not R squared. We are not looking at R squared. In this AX plus B, what does A represent?
M.
Like your M, yeah. What is that called?
Slope.
Slope. And what is the B?
Y-intercept.
Y-intercept. And what does the R value represent? Do you remember that?
Correlation.
Yep, correlation coefficient. Correlation coefficient, what does that tell us?
How weak or strong it is.
How weak or strong, right. So it's always between -1 and +1. 0 represents no correlation. And then if you go on the positive side, it's a positive correlation. The closer you get to 1 or -1, the better your straight. The closer it is to a straight line. how do we make sure that the R gets turned on? Do y'all remember?
Mode.
Yeah.
Stat diagnostic.
Mode, stat, diagnostics, turn it on. So mine was already on. So it's down here, stat diagnostics on. And that's how you get your R. Don't use R squared. That's for something else. Okay, so that's how you get your linear regression equation. Now, how do we plot the scatter plot on the graph? Let's go through those steps. I'm going to second quit to get out of there. You remember how we do that? Second y equals. Second y equals. And that's stat plot. And then we go to 1, plot 1, turn it on. And then we hit graph. So 3 graph. But if I can't see all of my points, what do I have to do now?
No.
Zoom, but there's a special.
9.
Mode.
Zoom, which one? 9, yeah. Zoom stat. And now I can see my points on there. So you go to zoom and then you go to 9, zoom stat. Okay, so that is just a reminder on all the things dealing with scatter plots. If I find my linear regression equation and I want to put it into y equals, I think this was actually 17.08. Here is a graph with the line on top. So how close is that scatter plot to the linear regression equation? It's pretty good. Yep, it's pretty close. All right, so you are actually going to do a Twizzlers Lab today. You get to eat Twizzlers. Now, if you're home doing this remote, you could use anything else. You don't have to use a Twizzler. You could use any food that's kind of long. You could even use like a granola bar or something like that. But you're going to measure. You're going to measure it from the beginning and then take a normal bite that you would normally take. Don't take a humongous bite. Don't try to eat it all in 2 bites. You need to do at least 5 bites. Okay? So you can't do it with a chip, obviously. You could do it with a celery stick. Who likes celery? No hands raised. I do. I like celery. I like to dip it in sour cream with taco seasoning in it. It was so good. Anyway, so that's what I would do if I was at home and I didn't have Twizzlers or anything like that. So you start out with bite number, and then you measure it. So after 1 bite, you measure it again. And you're not measuring you're measuring what's left of your licorice. Do at least 5. You can do more if you want. And then after you're finished with your piece of licorice, the length of your licorice equals 0. Cross out the remaining lines of your table. So this is what I've done before. I did this one last year. So I started out with my licorice. It was 20.5. And then I took some bites and I wrote down, and I'm using centimeters. And then after, it took me 8 bites. After that, I would cross out everything. And this is my table. Then you're going to answer the questions on the next page. All right. So that's what y'all are going to do today.